YouTube, we back at it again, man. This Coach J, I standard. We live on Facebook. We live on YouTube. Go over to YouTube, I standard LLC. Hit the notification and subscribe button. Hit that bell so you can get the notification when we live, man. Listen, we got a special guest with us here tonight. I've been trying to do one of these interviews for a long time. We got a young person who has lived experience around this conversation that we're gonna have. Shout out to Minister Preston. Thank you for being here, man. Much love to you. Appreciate you. But we're gonna have a conversation with Diana here. I'm not gonna give her last name because she's a minor, but I appreciate her being on. And we're gonna have this conversation about what is impacting our young people. Hi Pat, how you doing? What's impacting our young people, and how can we connect, problem solve, but also understand what our young people are facing day to day at school, in their communities, and at home. So, hey, without further ado, we're gonna jump right into conversation. I'm gonna ask some questions. I'm gonna let Diana just give us the behind the scenes so we can get some understanding. So, Diana, if you will, just introduce yourself, tell us where we're from, and then I'm gonna start asking you some questions, and we're gonna get right in.
Hi, my name is Diana. I'm 17 and I'm from Evergreen, but I currently live in Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama. Shout out to the Montgomery, Alabama, the Gump, aka the Gump. You cannot talk about Black history and not talk about Montgomery. So I don't care what you say. If you're from New York City, if you're from LA, listen, that's cool. But I tell you what, we got real history down there in Alabama and Montgomery. We Rosa Parks. Shout out to Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot talk about Black history and not talk about Montgomery, Alabama. So everybody got shade talking about we from the South. Y'all slow down there from Alabama. Listen, an old guy told me one day, he said, a country boy beat a city slicker any day of the week. So I love being from where I'm from. So if you got something to say about Alabama people, say it. We don't care. Let's get in the conversation, Diana. So I was reading an article today, and we're going to talk about several different things, but I want to talk about social media. And I was reading an article today from the MayoClinic.org, which is a research-based organization. And one of the things that they were talking about was some of the downsides to social media. And I think I got it on my other laptop, so I can't pull it up right now. But how do you see, as a young person, how how does social media influence the day-to-day activities of a young people? And I'm talking about Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. How much does social media influence the day of a young person from your experience? You in school, so you see it. You know what I mean? Everybody glued their phone, but talk to me about social media and how social media is influencing your age group, being a 17-year-old.
It's a lot that I could say about social media. For my experience, from when I'm just on TikTok day to day, I can see a lot in the comments is body shaming. Like you could be a big girl like me,
Mm,
and they'll be in the comments body shaming. You can be skinny or too
mm,
skinny. You're still getting body shamed. You're getting bullied. Facebook, let's not. So much killing and shooting, people laughing at it. It's just a lot. Like people really don't understand how much social media can affect somebody's life.
yeah.
Like a friend of mine was
Take your time.
it was
Take
a very long time ago, but
Yeah.
it's when I was in elementary school. My friend, she killed herself
Oh my.
due to social media. And she was a heavyset girl, a little bigger than me, but she will always get on social media. She always wanted to be an influencer
Mm,
for confidence and building big women up. So She was young. We were all young. We're plus size women, skinny women, too skinny. It does not matter. You're all loved.
Yeah.
So she lost her life due to social media.
All right.
They were bullying her and everything and body shaming her. She took her own life and it was a loss,
Yeah.
but it helped me become better and build up my confidence,
Right.
like how she would build up other plus size women confidence.
Yeah.
So social media, I can say is good things about it, but it's way worse than people expect it to be.
Yeah.
Because come on now, you want to go on there to have fun and show life,
Yeah.
have fun, explore, and
Yeah.
just post how you are in the world. You don't expect people to come under your pictures or in your comments and bully you
Yeah.
and talk down on you and just do everything, share your stuff, and then talk about you. That's how it is. Social media, it's not good.
Yeah. So let me
I
say
will.
this. Let me reflect on something you said, because you said a lot. And one thing I would challenge you on is to, like you said, you say you're a plus size individual. I would say to you, as a person working in this field professionally, you know, I wouldn't even refer to myself as that. Don't refer to yourself as that. You plus size, but you was created as beautiful as anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And labels, that's the same thing. People come on, like you said, come on, they shaming because they want to put a label on somebody, right? So never allow anybody to put a label on you. You know who you are, you know what you are. And so show up in the world as the beautiful creation that you are, as Diana. And people will respect that. And like you said, it sounds to me that as parents, we should work harder to create safe spaces for our young people to be able to show up in, whether it's on social media, whether it's at school, whether it's at the gas station in the community, the football games. It just seems like to me, based on what you're saying, our young people don't have so safe spaces to show up in. You can't even go on social media to, like you said, share the course of your day without people that you don't even know coming in the comments shaming you, this and that. But then I ask you this: when I look at reels and we got adults that are on there, and I ain't got nothing against it. It's what they choose to do. Everything is about how your body look. The reels are short clips and they show how their body look. And if God gave you a beautiful creation, that's up to you. You do what you want to do with it. But for a young person, how do you find your space on social media, your nexus on social media? How can you find your safe haven, and how do you navigate social media knowing that you had a friend that committed suicide because of the bullying? How do you then continue to go on social media and find your safe space? How do you do that?
Well, I would advise you to just let me see. Let me try to put it in a correct form of fashion way. Forget about everything. Just ignore everybody. You know what you want to do. You know that you're happy, excited, comfortable. You have full blown confidence in yourself. It may be people, thousands of people, famous people, all in your comments, bringing you down. So that's not you. You know who you are. Be yourself. Forget what they're talking about, because even though they're bringing you down, they're actually bringing you up, whether you know it or not, because you're telling yourself you listening to them. Don't listen to them. Those are just words. In your mind, you know, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, I'm handsome, I'm whatever. I'm going to be greater than them. Just because they're famous or people know who they are, they look up to them. Look up to yourself. Find that one person you know that you can look up to, like your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister, your brother, anybody. Look up to that person or just look up to yourself. Forget what they're talking about in the comments.
Yeah.
Just
So it sounds like to me, what I hear you saying is that social media is not as real as people think it is. And so you can have 1,000 friends on social media, but if you don't have no role models that you can go out and touch, you really setting yourself up for failure on social media because
Yes.
you're not going to get the reinforcement that you need. And also, what I hear you saying is that when you go on social media as a young person, you need to have a goal and stick to that. Whether you want to go on YouTube and look at this particular thing, go do that and get off. If you want to go on Facebook, go do this particular thing and get off. Because it
Yes.
sounds like you can get entrapped in some things and really take you down a really dark hole and into a space that is not productive at all. So, how much screen time would you say you have in the course of a day and a week? How much screen time are you having?
Not a lot. I work.
Oh, great.
So
Good.
like I work 9 to 5. So it's like I don't really have screen time unless I'm on break. Weekends, sure. Off days, of course. Like I'll probably have maybe 2, 3 hours screen time and
Okay.
I'll go to sleep. That's me because I'm not a social person. So if we have company, I'm in here, I'm socializing. But at that time, I'll be probably watching TV or I'm on TikTok.
Got it. Got it.
So me, screen time is not really my thing. I really like to go to work, come home, have family time, and go to sleep.
Good. That's good. I mean, you probably one of a kind. Talking about family time at 17 years old, everybody else is trying to create some dynamic of what family look like to them. So it's great that you have a family. And again, for parents that are they're listening, people that are watching, if you have young children that want to get on TikTok, that want to get on social media, you know, talk to them about having an objective. Like, why do you want to get on social media? Do you want to create a YouTube channel to show off your talent? If so, that's what we're going to create the channel for. It's not going to be for surfing and for entertainment. If you want to go on Facebook, what do you want to go on for? Then go do that and then, dive away from it because again, you can create a false narrative of who you are based on the likes, based on the comments that you get. And then in real life, you don't have two friends that you can go physically touch. And so I think based on what you said, that's what we got to be mindful of when it comes to social media and how our young people are connecting to social media. Many people are making big money off social media, getting rich off social media, and that's great. They're leveraging their talent based on the audience, but it's also very dangerous for our young people that are not mature enough to handle it. So thank you for those points. Now let's get into something else. You in what grade now?
The 11th.
You're in 11th grade. Okay, so you go to school um, in what I would say a urban inner city type area. What are our young people, young men and women? What are they facing day to day as it relates to the challenges to stay on the straight and narrow, to stay focused on academics? What challenges are young people facing that potentially can pull them away from focusing on their academics and point them in another direction?
Gangs,
Oh, gang,
gun violence,
gun violence,
killing,
killing.
live. So I would say we need more and better support systems out here. We need a better law force.
Mm,
I would say that we need Montgomery, Alabama needs a better and a law force that we can lean on.
hmm.
'Cause down here, you can't lean on the law force, to be honest.
Because you don't feel like you can trust the police, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So now,
They
now for the you see, then we were talking about that disconnect. Now, so for those that are listening, I know you probably shocked like I am. 20 years ago, 15 years ago, if somebody would have asked that question, they may have said, "Oh, what's going on at school is you know, a little bit of drug possession, some fighting, maybe a knife at school." But here you are talking about in 2022, full out gangs, shooting, killing, violence. Like, I mean, that's some real deal stuff. And so you telling me that our young people have to try to get an education in a school environment that's supposed to be learner centered, but then they got to focus on gangs, violence, and murders at the same time?
Yes.
Help me understand that.
It happened at my school a lot. I'm saying it's kids coming in there pretending that they are school students that are probably grown but look like teenagers. My school, they have like body scanners, but they don't work. So what they do is they mainly check the female purses. They just ram through it, throw everything out the way, put it back in, slide it down. The men, they don't pat them down. They can hide it in their pants, but they don't pat them down. They look in the book bags and just send them on their way. So one day I was going to school. I was bombarded, pushed out the way, and I was on the ground covering myself for my safety because parents, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters, the whole family bombarded every student that was on the female side coming in, went in to go fight another student, and he sadly got stabbed and he died in my school. I witnessed it all happen. I got up and I ran to my class. They locked us in. They shut down the school, but the people were still inside of the building.
Now let me ask you something, because that's a lot. That's heavy right there. So for those who are listening, who say, man, I wish the young people would do different in this and that in schools. Here's, firsthand information. Now, we're not saying every school is like that. That's not what Diana is saying. But what she is doing is giving us a glimpse inside of schools that we know exist. And we're wondering why our young people are battling to try to even care about getting an education. But then they have to go to school and they have to deal with what seems to be trying to get into what one would go through getting into a prison. So let me ask you this. Have you been to therapy for seeing such a violent act?
Yes. I'm currently still in therapy because it was a tragic scene for me to see that because I have had a lot of death in my family, but seeing it up close to a student that I actually knew and was cool with, seeing him just get stabbed in the neck and in the head, it was tragic. So therapy is helping, but I still go just to, get all the image out of my head. But just because I go to therapy, just because anybody goes to therapy, that type of image is not going to go anywhere because it was tragic and it was just worse.
Well, I want to commend you for going to therapy because a lot of times therapy is taboo in our community. So I want to commend you and your parents for helping you get into therapy because that was a very traumatic experience. And a lot of times, like you said, trauma can live with us for a very long time. But at least you're able to communicate what it is you're going through and have somebody help you process through that. We got a question in the chat that I want to raise up and answer. It's from Minister Presley. How do you use social media as a positive platform? Knowing everything that we know about social media, how would you say one young person can use social media as a positive platform? A young adult your age.
Okay, so you can use it as a positive platform by dismissing all the negative.
Okay.
Make one, like if somebody could build just one website or one type of app that any positive teenager in this life could go on and just enjoy themselves, that could help because you'll have a lot of teenagers and positive motivation on that one platform. And you have to be mature enough to get on that platform. They need to make a platform, an app, anything for just certain people, like a group, any just to help, to bring in all of teenagers like me who want a positive platform in that one group to help build a better stream, a better social media, help TikTok, help Facebook, YouTube, anything just help that platform build a better and safe platform.
Got it. So what I hear you saying, and just to respond to Minister Presley's question, it's just like Minister Presley, you may have a closed group on Facebook for your ministry. What I hear Diane saying is that, you know, maybe a young person can create a closed group and name it, you know, Girls of Power, or you know, young men empowerment, so that young people can come in that safe space and network and exchange ideas. We need to, you know, teach our young people as early as possible what it is to network and how to leverage networking opportunities. And the reality is, a lot of young males that are involved in the street life, they know how to network because they can make a play on one side of town, make a play on another side of town. That's networking. They're using it in the wrong way. And so, even working with those who are involved in criminogenic activity, we can still go say, hey, young man, you wake up every morning and you think about how to go get your gun, or you think about how to package up your items that you want to distribute. You can take that same energy and you can start you a business and sell water, or you can start you a lawn service. You ain't even got to be the one that work the lawnmowers. You can start the company and hire some other people to work for you and cut grass. And now you're making more money the legal way. You ain't got to be looking over your shoulder. Instead of judging young people and saying, hey, oh, you just criminal, you want to sell dope. We need to look beyond that and look at the positive that we all possess and then lift that up. And so that's why I say, like you, we need a new law enforcement structure. We need new mentoring programs that have a different lens that they look from, and not the old way. But it should be focused on mutual partnership and how we can lift up our community. Just like you're here on my platform, you're here to teach us at 17 years old. We want to learn from you how we can help our community. So again, we got shooting, we got stabbing, we got drug dealing going on in the community. How stressful is it for you to go to school and still focus on your academics as a person that comes from a solid family? How hard is it for you, not the ones who don't have, let's say, two-parent household, or even they may be living with their grandma, but how hard is it for you, who seemingly has her head on straight? How hard is it for you to go focus and stay focused on your academics in an environment like that?
It's hard. It's very frustrating because when I want to go to school and learn, I expect to go to school and learn and not walk into a classroom and have the teacher yelling at me, "You're 2 minutes late." Ma'am, it's 2 minutes. It's not like I'm an hour late or 35 minutes late. I'm 2 minutes. It's just two numbers.
Yeah.
2 minutes late.
And at least
So,
I came.
yeah. Yes, exactly. I came. I came to learn. Like, I may be held up in another class because I'm trying to get all my notes in. That's me. I can be 2 minutes late for class, only 2 minutes late for class, each class, because I'm still in that first period, that second period, still getting my notes down because I'm not trying to go home and be like, I need to email my teacher what the notes was.
Right.
I want all my notes so I can go home, study, come back the next day prepared. So if we have a pop quiz, oh yeah, I'm gonna know this. I'm ace. I want to go and learn. I don't want to go to school and just see everybody getting killed or my close friend getting stabbed in the neck. I don't want to see that. It's my principal. If you didn't hear my mom
Yeah.
being just a pain in the behind, you
Yeah.
know,
Being
because the
disagreed.
principal is supposed to be the one who is supposed to respect you and
Yeah.
tell
Leading
the teacher it's not the way to talk to a student. But no, you have the principal along with the teachers disrespecting or being perverted, as I can say. Male teachers, they are the main ones telling females, don't show your shoulders. All the boys are distracted. It's a shoulder. No boy is going to walk up to a female and be like, oh, your shoulder is attractive. Because it's a shoulder. No, that's not what they're looking at.
So you feel like the administration is focusing on the wrong thing. Like I would think the administration, based on the environment that you are expressing, should be focusing on how they can secure the campus, not whether somebody got a shoulder out. do you feel like, explain to me what your classroom looked like, the learning environment in your classroom? What does it look like? Because, give us a glimpse into the classroom. Is it a classroom where you can focus, or is it just like free fall?
No, it's not a class where you can focus. I can tell you, let me see. First period is my first period is controlled. My teacher,
Okay.
Miss Adams, oh, she on that class. If you not learning, you finna get a phone call to home or that principal or somebody else that she can get in here to shut these kids up. Oh, she doing it.
So she invested.
Yes.
So tell me what kind of characteristics that Miss Adams bring to the table that you feel like she invested, that you could probably take some correcting from her because it's coming from a genuine place. Like, tell me about some characteristics or some character traits that she has.
She's married.
Okay.
She's a mother of 4.
Okay. So she
So
got
she has a motherly love. She's like my mother. Like I'm saying, my mom is OCD. She see anything on that floor or anything messed up or just anything, my mom is beside me. So it's just she has motherly love. She cares.
Okay.
She wants you to come to school. Like if I come, like anybody come to school in her class wearing anything, I don't care. As long as you're here to come here to learn, that's cool with me. She doesn't care what we wear, how we look, as long as we have hygiene, upstandard, respect, love, and coming to school to learn.
Yeah.
That's all she cares about. She's not like the rest of the teachers who just, why are you wearing that? You're not in uniform, and just still sitting in this, and we all sitting up here like, so what are we working on? Go on Google Classroom and do what?
It's Miss Adams' classroom sound like something I would love to be in her classroom, because when you know your teachers are invested in learning, you respond to them differently, and that's what building a partnership is all about. Building relationships about. I think now teachers don't even work hard to build relationships, and I know it's a tough environment, man. It is tough. It is really tough. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and our educators are stressed to the brim. They got their own families that are sick with COVID. So it's a very sensitive time, and I recognize that. But I think if we would all just slow down and begin to focus on the basic premise of building relationships. Listen, Julian, Montana, Sandy, whoever, listen, I recognize what you got on. And I'm not judging you by that, because that may be all of your parents can afford. But I thank you for coming to class today and being willing to learn. And so I'm going to teach you the best that I can. And if there's anything I can do for you, let me know. That's what the classroom need to look like, and look past all of the other stuff. Because you can deal with that later. You can deal with that later. If you want to dress code at school, good. You can deal with that later. But we got to have our young people focus on learning.
Well, they can't have us learning if they're hiring young people. Like it's certain teachers that I have who are like 20 and something. I'm just like, you're still kind of a teenager like I am. Like you freshly just got out of college yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you know, and what can you tell me what's going on nowadays, or what's happening back in the olden days, like in history, going down the line, BC, AC, after crisis, before. What can you tell me that I can learn and that I already know? But what can you tell me that I already know? If you're telling me something that I already know, what am I in school for? That's basically how all these students are looking. Like a lot of these male friends that I have, they always calling me and telling me, yo, I don't want to go to school. I'm like, why? I'm in class.
Right.
Do I need to come ask my teacher to step out so I can talk to you and, help you come to school? I want all my friends to go to college. Like, even if you don't want to go to college, I want you to be successful. Do trade, do anything, go to Trenum, anything, get something, like have something that you can depend on in life, that you can lean on. They don't want to come to school because teachers, they're looking at, this is a thug, gangbanger, bringing guns, bringing knives, anything. And I'm like, I know these boys. They don't do that. They raised like how I'm raised, strict.
So let
I'm
me ask you
sorry.
this right here. We got a couple questions in the chat, and it's kind of two questions. One of them alludes to what you were just stating about, some of your male friends texting you, "Hey, I don't want to go to school." Da da da. So, how do you encourage other students who don't want to be in school? What are you saying to them? And let me say this: if I was in and I had a young person that was not wanting to go to school. Again, I'm always trying to get to the root issue. Okay, young man, young woman, what is it that's causing you to not want to go to school? Because it's something. Is it, are you being bullied? Do you feel like you're less than? Do you feel like your future is not worth anything? And so you're stuck in the now and you just want to live in the moment and do what you're doing now. And you have to be motivating to be able to paint a clear picture to get a young person that's in that situation to see beyond what they are seeing in front of them, to see the things that can be for them. And so many times we just write them off and say, you know what, I'm not gonna fight with you. If you don't want to come to school, don't come. But our young people are too valuable to ever write off. And so, Minister Presley, what I would say about collaborating with young people and encouraging them is we first have to build a relationship to figure out what is going on. And we have to go in that situation judgment free. We have to go in that situation with a warm embrace and say, hey, how can I help you? I'm here to learn and not come with anything. I'm not coming to tell you to do it this way, to do it that way, but I'm coming to learn from you about your situation to see how I can help you navigate and see a brighter future for you and for your family. And I think rationale values are important. Like you going to school can help your grandma get out of poverty. You going to school can help your mom get out of poverty. You going to school can help your brother, your young brother that's coming behind you, get out of the environment that is causing you so much stress. And so we have to connect the future for young people to the present so that they can understand that it is worth going after. But right now, they don't feel like it's worth going after because they're stuck in the now.
Yes.
Another question. Now, I know for young teachers, that can be stressful, right? Because it's all about building the respect and connecting. That's why I see a lot of young teachers, they connect how they can connect. A lot of them, like you said, they young, they fresh out of college, they pledged, they was in fraternities and sororities, and so they got a life outside of school. They do TikTok videos, they still young at heart. I think what a disconnect happens um, is trying to understand that professional track that they're on for their career, but also staying true to what made them want to be educators. And I think sometimes that can get lost in translation, especially when you're in volatile classrooms and it's hard to focus on learning. And so I know one thing used to tick me off back in the day is when the teachers used to say, "I got mine, you got to get yours." Like, really?
Yes.
Like that's what I mean. I'm trying, bro, but you really pushing me. You know what I mean? So how can young people begin to find the balance in, hey, we want to be respected by the teachers, but we also need to respect the teachers. What does that balance look like?
It's unbalanced. It's not even close to being equal. It's like when you freshly get out of college and they already hiring you as a teacher, to us teenagers who are 19 or 17 or 18 going on to 19, finna go to college, like you have to come to that school, be prepared to know I'm just out of college. I was a teenager maybe few years ago. Two
Yeah,
years ago, I was just in high school, finna walk across that stage. You need to come there and show us. Yeah, I walked across that stage. I came to college. I'm a young teacher, but I know knowledge more than you. Yes, you may know more than us, but you have to show us.
yeah,
But you also have to show us love
yeah,
and respect. Like you want respect, you better give it back.
yeah. So you
Cause
want
it like
It's that
Mo-
it's going back
yeah,
to that relationship, like not coming in the
yeah,
classroom, with the authoritative demeanor, like, hey, this is my classroom, da da da.
yeah,
That worked in a different era. It really worked in a different era. But I think in this era, it will probably help teachers um, to really connect with their students, get to know their students. Because it's hard for me to tell you anything, Diana. We just met. And if I tell you, hey, Diana, sit up straight, change your posture, you're not going to
yeah,
listen to me. We don't know each other. But if we build a relationship and you understand where I'm coming from, and I say, hey, Diana, you know, sit your posture up this way. It makes
yeah,
you hear this. You be like, you know what? It's coming from a good place. I know him. He's not trying to critique me in a negative way. And you can take that feedback and you can accept that. And so we definitely want to thank all of our educators, our teachers out there for going in the classroom. Because you're better than me. I can't do it. Now I go work in a detention center. I go work in the detention center and I carry the same philosophy in there, but I'm not going in the classroom. I'm not going in the classroom. So thank you, educators, for doing what you do. Based on what Diana is saying to us, is that we need to work on building relationships, getting to know young people, and connecting with young people. Put down the authoritative positional power that comes with being the teacher. We know you the teacher. We know you can send the students to the office. We know you put the grades in the book. Come in there and love on our young people, our young generation that are faced with so many challenges that could be confused. We don't know what happened to that child before they came to school that morning. We don't know what they seen on the bus, on the walk to school. We don't know if they slept out the door last night and they just went in the house this morning and put clothes. We don't know. And so teachers, you never know what you're getting from a young person when they come in the classroom. So um, I love teachers and I love students the same. And I'm just praying for better outcomes for school systems because we really, really need it. Now, if you had to talk to other 17-year-olds and you wanted to tell them anything, because it sounds like you got some dreams for yourself, those that are contemplating tonight that they're not going to school tomorrow, those who are contemplating that they're going to give up, those who are contemplating going to school and carrying out an act of violence, what would you say to them?
from my perspective, I would tell them, hey, I know, just wake up in the morning, sure, watch a little TV like I do. Cause me, I play a little music. I listen to some Summer Walker, some SZA, something to calm me down. Cause I know when they're walking between those two double doors, HEL double hockey six is gonna let loose onto me, and I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna get my education and not get kicked out. So play some music, watch a little TV, put your headphones in, wash your face, calm down, sit down, pray. Please pray before you go to school. Just pray, okay? Because prayer it helps.
Yeah,
So pray, have a little fun, tell your parents, I love you.
yeah, yeah,
Because when you tell them you love them, they'll know, oh, my child is coming back home. They not going up to the school and you're not in the body bag. You're not on the street dead in a body bag. They don't want to hear that.
yeah,
You don't want to be in school and then wake up in heaven.
yeah,
That's not how your life should go as a teenager. That's
yeah,
not how I want my life to go. I want to go to Harvard, go to Yale, go to some school, some college. I know that my life is set upon. I want to go to cosmetology school, be a nurse, become a teacher. Those are all my goals.
yeah,
So whatever your goals are, get a sticky note, get a notepad, write down your goals, put them on your door.
yeah,
Every morning you wake up, read those goals and have them set in your heart.
yeah,
So when you go through those school doors, you like, yes, I want to be here. I'm gonna get my education, and I want my set goal, my first number one goal on that paper, walk across that stage alive
yeah,
with my cap and gown, with my tassel turned to their right side.
yeah.
And you know you walk across that stage and be like, God, thank you so much for letting me walk across this stage and let me see another life. And
Man,
I'm gonna go to college.
that's real. That's real. I mean, Like, wow, you got to put a vision, a goal to walk across the stage and be alive. I mean, if goal back in the day was just let me walk across the stage and not be so high, I don't slip off the stage. But now it's like I just want. That's, I mean, that's, man, that's heavy. That our young people. It's so, man, I can't imagine how many young people are so traumatized by the experiences they have to go through at school. And you got a real gift. Like you really should be one of those ones to create a social media page that's a safe space for young girls, teenagers to come in and get inspiration and get motivation from somebody who look like them, somebody who has walked that walk, that has lived experience. Because like you said, sometimes it's hard to relate to people who have just book knowledge, just text knowledge, that haven't kind of walked that path. And so that's why I got brought you on today, because I ain't been to the high school in a quite long time, and so I don't know what those hallways look like now, because I'm sure they look much different than when I walked the hallways. And it sounds like to me that I don't know, man. I mean, wow, wow. So what would you say to those who are listening that's like, you know what, I want to be able to not only help the child, but I want to help a child's family. What from a family standpoint, what do you feel like a young person needs from a family and community standpoint to be successful? Like, what would you say to that?
Number one, love.
Love.
You need love.
Come on.
Every kid needs love. Like, if you don't have love in your life as a teenager, you feel like no one loves you. At that point, that was me. I felt like, because I had depression, I'm still to this day dealing with depression disorder that I have. I go to therapy. My therapist shows me love like my mother does, like my father, like my cousin, like my brothers.
Yeah.
Every teenager needs love from that point on and up. Then we need respect.
Yeah.
My like
Hold on, let's pause right there. Hold up, let's time out right there. That's a nugget. I mean, that's two nuggets. For everybody that'll listen to this live or watch this replay, the young lady is saying that everybody needs love. She didn't say the smart kids need love. She didn't say the ones that have perfect attendance need love. She didn't say the ones that make A honor roll need love. She said everybody needs love. That includes the one that come to school that may have that gun, that one that's coming to school that may have them drugs on, that one that may have that knife on, that one that may have a mental health disorder that shows up, that's disrupt the school. Young people need love, not judgment.
yes.
Right? Now, of course, I can look at some and identify what I think it may be, and I can keep that to myself. But when I turn it into something that is really not, that's when it turns into judgment. And I can't love somebody who I'm gonna judge all the time. So she's saying young people need love and respect. See, when I come up, old folks ain't want to hear nothing about respecting no child. They ain't want to hear that BS of what live a little bit longer, then somebody respect it. But I believe, like you, that we should respect young people. And me respecting you means that I value your existence enough to be able to hear you out, right? So talk to me about when you say respect, what that means to you, because it may be different than what that means to me. Talk to me.
So I have a saying. A lot of people think it's funny, but it's real. So I say respect is like money.
Okay.
You want them to pay you back, right?
Yeah.
You give somebody $20, you expect them to pay it back, right?
Yeah.
So respect. I'm giving you respect. Repay me my respect back that I'm giving you. Cause if I pay you respect and you don't repay me back and you judging me and you disrespecting me, I'm gonna take it back. Like them $20, if you're not gonna pay me back, I'm gonna take it back. Like it's just don't give it out. You know, $20, that's lost, gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't give it out to people you know or you feel like isn't gonna respect you. If I'm giving you respect and you give me that vibe like shrug off, I'm gonna be like, no.
Yeah.
You know,
Even if they ain't
Yeah.
it's
respecting you,
respectful.
you still
You
gotta
just
respect them because you want to go to
Energy is big.
heaven.
Uh,
yeah,
and just like you said earlier about you pray before you go to school. Everybody is not spiritual. So for those who don't know how to pray, they may meditate to ground themselves, to center themselves, to get their mind in order so they can say, okay, this is what I got to face today when I go to school. And I'm going to be mentally ready for that because I've grounded myself. And what I want to say to adults and young people alike is that the respect thing, we got to be respectful enough to be able to come together and partner. You know, if I offer you respect and I want to partner with you around a shift in your thinking or a shift in possibly your behavior based on where you want to see yourself go, then allow me to partner with you. You know, I'm asking adults to not write off all young people, and I'm asking young people to not write off all adults. However, I realize that there's a disconnect. There's too much space in the line that's in the middle of the road between the two audiences. And we got to figure out how to come together and hold hands to solve these problems that exist in our community. And we need people like you, Diana. We need people like you that will continue to blow the whistle and will continue to step up and say, "Hey, we are drowning over here in a pool that we did not create because none of us asked to be here. We were born here because two people came together and decided they wanted to make it last too long. And so, thank you for doing what you're doing. And I hope that the people that listen can really hear what it is that you have said. And I'm just so wowed by the fact that you are harping on love and that young people need to be loved because man, like when you're loved, it's so much other stuff that come with that. Like if I love my son, I communicate with him a certain way. Because I love my son, I show up in his life a certain way. Because I love my son, I discipline him a certain way. And so for you, how does love from your parents show up in your life and what does it do for you as a motivator?
well, some people think just because my parents buy me a little stuff or they spoil me, they feel like that's how I get my love. And I'm just my parents will wake me up every morning and be like, "We love you," out of nowhere, give you hugs. My mom, she'll come in the room, lay on my bed, and wait till I wake up, or just move me around and be like, "Good morning, I love you." Like that's how I get my motivation. Just random thank yous or random love, like love letters. My mom, she'll write letters to me and my siblings all day, every day, put them on the doors. Sometimes she'll be funny and put it on sticking on our foreheads, and we'll wake up and they'll be like, "Thank you for being in my life. Y'all are my rainbow children. I love you." Like that's motivation from your parents.
Yeah.
My dad, he a little rough around the edges, but he shows his love. Like he'll be like, they don't need all them electronics, they don't need no TV. Like that's how my dad is. But his love is waking up every morning and just seeing us smile.
Yeah.
Like holidays, we are a holiday family, but sometimes we're not. He just like that we appreciate him.
Yeah.
That's his love to us. Be respectful, love your parents, and appreciate what they have done for you throughout your whole life. Your mom had to carry you for 9, maybe 10 months, maybe longer than that. And
Only 9. That ain't
and it's just
like
like
nobody
if your mom can carry you for that long to show you and bring you into this world, that's enough love for you to know, hey, my mom didn't give me up, or hey, my mom didn't. Like some people, they be like, my mom gave me up because she didn't want me. No, maybe your mom gave you up for a reason. She didn't have a support system to lean on. She gave you up so you can have a better love life, a better love system, just a better family,
Yeah.
just to grow up in a home to show you love. Maybe she couldn't show you that love at first. Maybe the dad was just not there. She couldn't do it on her own.
Yeah.
So she gave you up to someone, to a family who couldn't have kids, and she wanted you to have that love. That's
Yeah.
enough love to show you.
Yeah.
Because when you have that love, it's not going nowhere. It's just there. It's your heart. It's everywhere. Like you don't need, oh, I love you. You can have a hug.
Yeah.
That's enough love for you. A hug, a handshake,
Yeah.
a random person walking by. I love you even if nobody else loves you.
Yeah.
That is enough love that you need. We just need those type of people in that world. A random person.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, I know I can feel it. You may not know, you may not feel like nobody love you, but I love you if you feel like you're not loved.
Wow.
That's all we need.
Listen, I'm telling you, man, you real spiritual now. You know, you may be prophetic. You may have a little prophet in you. But listen here. Man, that's deep. I want to challenge every adult, every ministry, every church, every organization, community organization. You know, next time you want to do something for the community, you know, I know everybody like to go feed the homeless and, you know, get people clothing. But, you know, maybe somebody ought to organize a day, knock on doors and give out hugs in communities to show love in communities because I know there's so many young people that wake up that don't have a father, they don't have a mother, and it's none that they did. That they've never had any love. The only had was the love that they felt like love was showing by putting something in their hand to put some money in their pocket. For them, that was love. They had the opportunity to say, for somebody to come wrap their arms around them and say, listen, Sean, I love you. I'm here for you. You don't have to do that. Daddy's here. Mommy's here. And we got to slow down and get back to some of the basics, some of the pillars that got us to where we are. That everything, because we you know what I mean? We moving on. Some of the basic pillars, the foundational pillars, and love is one of them. From the beginning, love.
Yes.
Love can heal our community if we slow down, like you said, random acts of love. Just like, hey, have you know, not that old, I ain't talking about that old freaky stuff. We ain't talking about R. Kelly love.
Yes.
We ain't talking about R. Kelly love. You know, we ain't talking about. We just talking about genuine love. Like, I love you enough to tell you that I love you because I feel like you need to hear that today. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you can't give a full hug these days because you may end up with a harassment lawsuit. But give somebody a side hug, or just express to them. You know, Diana, I'm thinking about you. Here's a hug. Expressing that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got to go through with the physical act, but tell somebody, listen, here's a hug for you today. You know the reason why I'm smiling at you? Because you're doing so well, and I'm just so thankful and excited about your future. That's why I'm today. You know, so it's so many little acts like that that I feel like we can do. And thank you for pointing that out and driving that point home tonight. That we really need to start showing love, especially to those young people that are disenfranchised, those who are in communities to where if they love, they may get killed because they put their guard down. And they need to experience love. I know that they want to stay alive and they have to show up a certain kind of way to stay alive in a gang infested environment. Yeah. But man, what it would be like if they could be vulnerable enough to feel their emotions and cry and let all of that pain and that anger go and just sit in the seat of love and know that they're going to be all right. It's going to get better. Man, whoa, wouldn't that be good?
Yes.
For them to feel like, man, I'm still a man. I'm still a dude. I'm solid. If I'm in tune with my emotions, ain't nobody going to like make me feel like I'm not who I am because I'm crying and I'm in tune with my emotions. Like,
yes,
we need our young people to know that that's okay. And not they have to walk around here and end up with a 20-year life sentence before they realize that, man, this ain't really what it was cracked up to be. But at that point, it's too late. And that's what That's what many of them are ended up, like we talked about, that school to prison pipeline. We got to break it. We got to break it, and we need people like you and your family to continue to stand tall in the communities, to continue to advocate for what's right. Build that circle, man. You be the one to start that Facebook group. You be with your mom and your dad to figure out how you can come up with the app. You know, just like the people created Tinder and all them other dating apps where they can. You got some day. You need to copyright that and do that for somebody else do it. That's your $1 million opportunity right there. Yeah. Well, Diana, I ain't gonna hold you any longer, man. Listen, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. You are well spoken. You are mature beyond your years, and man, your future is bright. To be a beacon of light, continue to be a flower, a beautiful flower in your community. Continue to love on your family, on your nexus. Continue to stay grounded and do not lose hope. Continue to fight because we need it like no other. And I pledge to fight right along with you, using my platform and everybody else that you come in contact with, that I come in contact with. We just want to continue to share this message. So thank you. Thank your family. I'm sure we'll chop it up. Maybe can come back again to maybe dive a little bit deeper. But I don't want to keep you long on a school night. I go to bed early. Like I'm generally in the bed by 9 o'clock because I work Sunday. I don't stay up for nothing. I'm not gonna be standing up looking at the TV. I'm gonna watch a little bit of Don Lemon on CNN, and then I'm going to bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be sitting up watching the latest series talking about what's playing on Netflix. I'm not doing it. But to each his own. I like to get 8 hours of sleep because I believe, and that's another thing. You young kids need to go to sleep and get rest. Someone don't know what it feel like to get 8 hours of sleep. Y'all need to go to sleep. How many hours of sleep you
get? Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Yeah. Well, good. Thank you. You know, congratulations on everything you're doing. I hope that all of your dreams come true. Hold up, we got another question. Talk to us, Minister Presley. I hope that if you want to be a cosmetologist, a nurse, whatever you want to be, I hope that your dreams come true. What's your question, sir? Let's see what Minister Presley got. AKA Trent. How do you feel about getting He said, how do you feel about getting a woman? She look from the looks of it at 17. I'm you know, she probably beyond that. But how do you feel about any age, the discipline, the art of discipline, aka better known as in our community, a whooping? How do you feel about that? As a young person?
Like,
let me ask you
where I am now.
Let me ask you a question this way. Did you getting a whipping change your behavior or spark change in your life? Did a whipping deter you or did it change you?
It changed me. It helped me gain a lot of respect, and that's what a lot of teenagers need is discipline. I'm not talking about a lot of these parents that you see on, I'm talking about YouTube, Facebook going viral for embarrassing their kids, getting on their platform, their social media, talking about them, be like, oh, you want to go out here and show your body this? That's not discipline. That's not correct way. That's just going to make them go down. It's not going to change and it's not going to help them. It's going to bring them down. And that's not what they need. They need the correct and respectful discipline that everybody else grew up with, like me. Yeah. They need that type of discipline.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's why I asked it that way, because this is something I'm gonna discuss another day. Is that there's a difference in compliance and change. And a lot of times, I'm gonna tell you what whippings did for me growing up. It caused me to be compliant, but it didn't create change. Like I complied because I didn't want that feeling of getting whooped. But it didn't change me because the next opportunity I got to do it and not get caught, I did it. So it created compliance in the moment. But the next time I got an opportunity to do it, I still did it, and it didn't change me. And so we have to look at, in today's times, how can we discipline to create change and not compliance? because your teaching method is only as good as what your children do when they're not around you, not what they do or don't do in front of you. Because what they do in front of you can lend itself to compliance. But what they learn from that and do behind your back is really about change, especially if you're talking about a behavior change. Yeah. So if you whooped his butt so that he would not push girls at school, and he's still pushing girls, that whipping didn't help. It didn't. You know what I mean? He told you in the moment, okay, daddy, I ain't gonna push some girls hard at school. But then you get that email 3 weeks from then, your son up here again pushing girls. And he complied for a little while, but it didn't change him. So again, with change, what we have to do as parents is we have to communicate and have conversation with our children about the root cause and the change that we're trying to get after. And a lot of people feel as though they shouldn't have to communicate like that with their kids. Their kids should do what they say do when they say, if I told him to stop pushing girls, he need to stop pushing girls because I said he should stop. That ain't gonna work today. You need to get down to the root and sit that child down and say, listen, this is why you don't need to push girls, little Johnny, because you can get charged with assault. You can push that girl down and she bump her head and get a concussion and have to go to the hospital. And her mom and dad could possibly sue us. You know, you got to dive into that to paint the clear picture of why the behavior change needs to happen. And it don't make you less of a parent because you have to explain the what, the whys, and the hows to your child. That don't take no power away from you. You still the parent. It's just that you don't learn to be more sophisticated because swinging that belt, man, that stuff get old. It's tiring too. Kids running these days, you got to run up and down stairs. Man, I can't be doing that at 40 years old. My knees ain't what they used to be. It just ain't. So I'd rather just sit down over a glass of water and a piece of chicken and have a conversation. That's what I'd rather do. So, Minister Presley, I hope that helped. I hope that helped you, man. Again, Diana, I've enjoyed this conversation. Thank your parents for allowing you to come on and have this chat. Listen, everybody, go out there and share this video. Share it, tag your friends in it that you know need to hear it. Tag your sisters, your brothers that you know need to hear it, that can see that we do have young people out there that want to see change in their community. Everybody needs to hear Diana's story. Everybody needs to see Diana at 17 articulate herself the way that she did in this interview. Yes, stop whooping, Mr. President, and have that conversation with them young men. It's never too early. I'm telling you, you're gonna be so ahead of the ball game when you do it that way. Yeah, I know it. They can get a little act right now. A little act right don't hurt them. A little act right if you want to give them a little act right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But after you whoop them, don't be talking about I did it because I love you. Ain't nobody want to hear that. And you need to explain what the correction was about. You explain that to them. Don't do that. My parents used to do that. How you love me like that? And you just told me down. And you want to say I did it because I love you? Really? All this pain I got going on over here that doesn't show me you love me. Don't demonstrate love to me. I'm hurting. But anywho, again, thank you. Enjoy your night. Minister Presley, chat with you later, man. And you enjoy them boys, them two beautiful kids of yours. And we need to have your significant other. She's educated. Maybe we set some up and get her on to get her vantage point of, what is going on in this and what we can do to help as a community. Listen, it's been great. Hey, peace out. I'm gone. Thank you, Diana. You take care.